when you play that song, The Flowers on the Tracks, or some of the other instrumental songs, the ones that you've played on the accordion before I've heard, does it take you back to that feeling or that
kind of,
sensation?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you enjoy that?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's a place that I'm compelled to go, but it's not a dark, like all my instrumental things, it's not, it could be about a very dark thing, but it's basically, it's about love. It's like the things, the instrumentals are all like a kind of wordless love song kind of thing.
And that's not dark?
No, what's dark about love?
Yeah. When you're writing, you've told me before that it has been a struggle at times, or that it's like waiting for lightning to strike. Does that mean that all of a sudden something will rush you, and until that point it's just a fight, or how has it been?
It's weird. Well, there's everything in between. Like there's some songs have taken forever to write. You know, like the title song of the album, "Safe Inside the Day." I think I started writing that song like a good 3 years ago or so.
Was the music there, or was it lyrics?
There were similarities about the music. The music was there, bits of the lyrics were there, but the song wasn't there. And almost, actually, at one point, almost the whole song was there, all in terms of words and notes and everything. But what wasn't there was like the feel. Like what happened was, the breakthrough with that song, after like 3 years, right, was I finally realized that it was basically, it was like a gospel song. And it wanted to just sort of relax and be a gospel song. And I'm like a lot of people, you know, when it comes to like churchy kind of things, I'm a little bit like, hoogada boogada, you know, keep it over there, you know, right? And so, and you know this about me, I used to work in a church, right?
Yeah, and the pipe organ.
Yeah, right, I was an organist and a choir director, I taught like kids, you know, and hymns. And
that was all in Manhattan?
No, that was in the South Bronx.
Okay.
Beautiful place in the South Bronx called St. Jerome's. Wonderful, wonderful place, wonderful people, wonderful children.
How long did you
Everything
work there?
about it was wonderful. I was there like, I think almost about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was never, even though I worked in a church, I didn't start out, at least, being churchy at all.
Now, what do you mean by churchy? Religious?
Religious.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah.
Spiritual?
Yeah. But in a particular, you know, like, not,
of
ain't just spiritual, I'm Catholic.
Right.
You know, I'm a Methodist.
A certain kind of spirituality, a certain brand.
Right, yeah. And, yeah, so
there was an aversion that kept you from wanting to necessarily take things in a direction that might feel
well, I
churchy.
just wanted to keep it sort of non-specific, you know.
Right.
And, and yeah, and people who were like sort of willingly allow themselves to be perceived as spiritual or Catholic or Methodist or whatever the fuck, right? Give me the creep. You know? I can't help that. I mean,
There's exceptions.
Maybe the Dalai Lama I'll make an exception for, but probably if I was like from the Himalayas, I'd be like, ooh, who's the Dalai Lama, you know?
What about David Tibet? He's very...
Yeah, he's an exception. He's
Current
an exception.
93.
Yeah, that's true.
How did you begin playing with David Tibet in Current 93?
What happened was, when I first started writing songs, the very first songs I wrote, I sent them to Anthony, who was like a mutual friend. You know, at that time I didn't know or I'd never even heard of David.
When was that? How long ago was that?
Ooh, 99, 2000 maybe.
And where were you living at that point?
I had just moved to Cleveland.
Okay, from New York.
Yeah, yeah. And so I sent the songs to Anthony, thinking that Anthony would cover them, because the last thing in the world I wanted was to sing the songs myself.
And why was that?
Because I never considered myself a singer. You know, I would sing like, you know, like stupid comedy songs or, you know, Shirley Temple songs to get a buck out of people, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Now,
but like to sing like a real song, like from the heart kind of thing, you know. I couldn't picture myself doing that in front of people. You know?
I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. It was not too long ago. We're talking what, 8 years ago, and. So I sent the songs to Anthony, hoping that he would cover them. And basically, I still feel that way. I would much rather be hearing some really, really great singer like Anthony, Mark Allman, or, you know, I mean, somebody wonderful. I would love to hear them do my songs. That's like That's what I live for, is for people covering my songs. I love that, you know. And yeah, so I didn't want to sing the songs myself, but Anthony, well, he didn't want to cover the songs. He sent them to David, and David liked them and wanted me to put out albums. So I put out a couple albums on his label.
And were those the first Baby Dee records?
Those were the first Baby Dee records, and it was all downhill from there.
So you learned how to play piano, I think, from a very young age. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you picked up pipe organ on your own? Accordion on your
later in
own?
life, yeah.
Accordion?
Yeah.
Harp?
Harp I took lessons. When I was like about 19 or 20 in New York, I saved up my money, I bought a harp, and I took a few harp lessons. Played the harp very badly for about 10 years. And then when I stopped doing church music, I could see the writing on the wall that I was not, you know, my career would not exist anymore. So I figured, well, maybe I can be a harpist, you know. And I went back to that original teacher, and like then I worked really hard, and got so I could like get from, you know, the beginning to the end of a Handel harp concerto and sort of do regular harpist kind of things. And
does the album has flourishes of harp?
It has just teeny weeny, you know, typically. You know, the poster for the album is me playing the harp, you know, with Matt and Sean. But the thing about it, you know, that poster is actually perfect for the album because it's me, but it's not just me. It's me with friends, you know, and that's what the album means to me, you know. So it makes sense in that realm. But no, there's almost no harp music on there at all, except there's a song particularly about the harp being sort of hidden within, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about that song. That's the Bobby Slot, Freddie Weiss.
The Dance of Diminishing Possibilities.
Now tell first about, you told me about these guys.
Yeah.
And you had remembered them recently.
Well, yeah, I always remembered them, but like the importance that they had in my life.
These two guys were from where?
They were from Cleveland. They lived across the street from us.
And there were two
on
characters.
West 39th Street. They were like, you know, Bobby Slot was a big fat guy, and Freddie Weiss was a little skinny guy. He used to like walk around, like you'd see him like walking down the street, and he had a wagon, like a little kid would have a wagon, right? He had a wagon, and he did something with the wagon. I don't know what he did with the wagon. But what I do remember, as a very small child, was that there was something written on the side of the wagon. But I was too young. I didn't know how to read. I was such a little kid, right? And so I was always like, mystified by the writing on the side of Freddie Weiss's wagon. And finally, when I got a little older, I found out that it said, Freddie Weiss.
And these two guys found their way into this song.
Yeah, well, that was like, they smashed up this piano on the tree lawn. And I was like, little kid, you know, that's like, well, on the front of your house.
Oh.
Like if you take out your garbage, right, you put it by the curb, right? And that's in Cleveland, that's your tree lawn, you know? It's like the space between the sidewalk and the street, you know? Where there's little grass. You probably grew up in a place without sidewalks.
That's true.
There you go.
You're right. we had a lawn, but it wasn't a tree lawn.
Right. Well, yeah. That's you have to have a sidewalk to have a tree lawn.
Okay, right. It's the area before, in between the street and the sidewalk.
On the
That's
street
right.
side of the sidewalk.
I'm familiar with those.
Yeah.